What up, though? I say, what up, though? No, I should have done it like this. Hello, hello. All the old school people remember that. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Y'all know that. Y'all know nothing about that, you young bucks. What up, though? What it do? What it do? What it do, sexy people? Welcome to Nights with Nicci. Welcome, 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 welcome to Nights with Nicci. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Woman's Crush Wednesday. If you're watching me on Instagram, you know you get the full and complete view if you go on over to wirf.tv, YouTube to the channel. Thank you guys. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. It is wonderful and excellent. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, Please make sure, like I said, if you're on the Worth TV YouTube, why is this not in my broadcast? What's going on, honey? Where's it at? I don't know. It's not there. But anyway, if you are watching me from any space, Twitter, Instagram, uh, YouTube, welcome, 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 welcome to Nights with Nicci. You guys, I am coming back from my sisters, Erin, Alexis, and Ashley, the Magic Joneses. They are an incredible, incredible uh, group of women who happen to be biological sisters. Many of you may know that Erin and Alexis are members of Brownstone. So they have this incredible project. It is a children and families album. Um, they are on the Grammy ballot this year. They had a listening session. And boy, when I tell you, it just makes me so proud to see that, women who are entering a space where there is not a lot of diversity and not of a lot of inclusion for them to get on the charts with a children and families album is just absolutely incredible. So I just want to applaud my sisters. And we actually in the studio tomorrow working on some brownstone stuff. And that's what this brownstone thing is about. Let me get into that a little bit. Then we're going to get into something. Baby, we got to talk about Pastor Keon. We got to talk about what else we got on the agenda today. J-Lo is feeling different about some things. And then, oh my goodness, there somebody got some scratch for Pierce Morgan. So we're going to talk about all of that. But let me talk a little bit about the Brownstone brand because I think a lot of people, it's funny, I was going through some of our old stuff and I was going through some of our old stuff and I was just looking back on the journey, right? And you guys have seen some of it. I've been posting some stuff here and there of Maxie and I and Keena and just the whole journey of the group, right? One thing I have to say about the Brownstone brand is that we have always been about women who were talented, women who could hold their own in a solo arena at any because Keena could sing her face off, Mimi could sing her face, every Tisha, everybody who was ever blessed Brownstone with a vocal is a beast, and I mean that in the best possible way. And I've always been very liberal and free about giving people the opportunity to use this platform as a stepping stone, use this platform as an opportunity for you to evolve and grow into whatever your creative heart desires. Because Michael Jackson, the one and only Michael Jackson, didn't give this record deal to Nicki, Maxie, Mimi. This record deal that Michael Jackson blessed Brownstone, the brand, with has been a really positive platform and springboard for a lot of people, and just like R&B divas, like same situation. I love creating brands and ideas that don't just work for me, but work for the collective because it's just so much doper when everybody is winning. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be, well, I guess some people do. I don't want to ever be the richest, most successful person in a room. You know what I mean? I want to be in a room full of wealthy, successful people of good character and good sound, body, mind, and spirit, right? So tonight I was really, honored to just sit in the room and watch my sisters, the Magic Joneses. If you are a Grammy voter, I don't know if I can do this or not because it's a whole lot of rules with us in this Grammy voting thing. But just look at everybody on the ballot, and in places and spaces where there needs to be more diversity and inclusion. And I'm not just saying that this record is about diversity and inclusion because that's not what it's about. It's about, well, I mean, it's about that, but it's also about a really amazing, magical journey that families can share with their children. So, the Magic Joneses, follow them on Instagram, you guys. I'm going to do a whole interview with him. And we're going to, oh, I see a lot of intellects coming in. Okay, I love it. 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 So that's my whole zhuzh about my sisters in song. Please look up the Magic Joneses and support. Hey, Christy Sims, I see you on Instagram. Hello, Nicholas. Hello, Happy to Be Happy, one of the law intellects. I see you. Hey, Kiss a Smooch. I see y'all. Thank you so. Listen, y'all know I'm going through, and I'm gonna get to it. Oh, baby, we gonna get to it. Oh, we gonna get to it. Yeah, we gonna get to it. Um, Baby, I watched a whole little something yesterday, and it was the okay. I'm a little premature. Let's get into the this warm up and get into the gossipy stuff because I know that we are intellectuals, and thank you, Pam, again. Pam, the law intellect. Y'all, if you're not following her, you should be. Thank you, Pam Esquire. Y'all in the building. I love it. Man, listen. Thank you. I'm not gonna gush too much. I'm gonna get into this little gossipy stuff, and then I'm gonna get into some more intellectual stuff. You get a little mixture, a little ratchet, a little intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily intellectual, because Pam is the intellect. You just get raw, authentic, organic interpretation and me sharing my journey and my story. So, if you are on YouTube, please do me a humongous favor. And you could do a rich to the nine. You can hit that like button. Please hit the like button. It means so much to me. If you're watching me on IG, I'm so grateful for you watching me on IG, but you can come on over to Instagram and hang out because it's about to get real froggish and we finna leap right on into it. And if you're watching me on YouTube, then please, 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 by all means, hit the like button. That is a very important thing. It lets the folks know, oh my God, look at all of these law intellects in here, Pam. Man, listen, okay, I gotta get into this just a little bit. So, I'm just now getting into my YouTube bag, right? And I fell instantly in love. And I mean that, obviously from a distance. With Pam, the law intellect, I saw this beautiful Black woman. Pam, I'm about to give you your flowers because you always come on here and give me mine and bring your people. And it's so, so important. Right. So, you try to navigate the YouTube space, right? Because, there's a lot of stuff out here and I'm not going to throw shade on nobody. I'm just calling it like I see it. Vera Brown. I'm just calling it like I see it. Sometimes it's a lot of muck. And you want to find something that stimulates you mentally and spiritually, and you feel like it's coming from an educated, informed, really good place. And I happened upon Pam, the law intellect, her YouTube channel, and watching her unpack cases and watching her give a perspective that is so important in this space. I'm not a lawyer. I've been rocking with him for the last 4 years, so I know a little something. I think I could be a paralegal maybe. No, I'm just bullshitting because I really can't do that either. But just finding a Black woman in this space where she's unpacking what really matters. And we're going to get into that a little bit, you guys, because it's a lot of noise out here, and it's always been noise. Back in the day, it was the Inquirer. Today is freaking YouTube and Instagram. But back to Pam. This woman, I just instantly clicked. Like, she gets it. She knows what she's talking about. She knows what's important. And then I discovered after she's from the D. And I was like, oh, for you, so y'all already know what up, though. She from Detroit. You already know. That's a whole thing, baby. So cheers to Pam. She has supported me in the short period of time that, she's been in this space. And I really, really appreciate it. It's at a time when I really, really needed you guys. Listen, I push through and I'm always gonna push through. And if you know anything about a black woman, then you know that's just what we do. We just push through, period, under all circumstances. But it doesn't mean that we don't um, need the encouragement from our sisters, our peers, our people, right? You see all of these people and you're like, wow, the way you pushing through is really impressive. That takes a lot of mind, body, and spirit work, emotional intelligence, all kind of stuff. So when you come across a woman in this social media space where all of this noise is happening and y'all see she got folks up in here, listen, I appreciate you, Pam, because you didn't have to do it. You don't have to do what you do. And she's done some other things just real quick. It's like, and I feel the same way. Like, let me give my sister Christine Beatty her flowers. It's something about y'all. I don't know what the hell Funky didn't even meant when he said he can't stand the Detroit. Cause baby, and I'm not just saying that because I'm from there. You get you the right Detroit person, don't let it go. Don't let it go. All right, y'all. Let me stop gossiping and being mushy and talking too damn much and long winded. I'm learning the YouTube algorithm. But I'm going to say this before I get into this stuff. I need you guys to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. And you can also hit the share and all that other stuff so we can let folks know that we over here having a good old time. So I usually like to keep people's husbands and you know what? IG, I'm going to end my IG. I need all of y'all that's over there on IG. I love y'all, but I need y'all to come over to Instagram. I'm sorry, I need y'all to come over to YouTube. I love you like a play cousin. Come over to YouTube so I can focus over here with my folks over her. Okay, y'all. So here we go. So usually when it comes to, people's spouse, I just like to keep my mouth shut and stay out of stuff. But this brother is a public figure and the pastor of a church. And I want to share what is going on all over the internet because we got to get into that stuff or whatever. I want y'all to give this a listen. Hold on. I got to scroll up and then scroll back and then take it off. Maybe y'all can hear it. Hold on. Okay, guys. All right. So let's get into that real quick. And then we gonna get into this one after that. Let's get into that real quick. Hello, 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 hello. Could you guys hear that? Okay. Yes, I hope you guys can hear that. So basically, that is Pastor Keon Henderson, and his perspective is that charity does not bring wealth. And the internet has been ablaze, and a lot of people have had opinions about it. He said tithing is what brings wealth to the community. So, does anybody out here in these YouTube streets, does anybody have a perspective on that? I would absolutely love. Hold on, let me pull this up so I can see you guys on my screen here. I would absolutely love to hear from you if you do have a perspective on it because I certainly do. Oh. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, here we go. Let's see. I can see a little better here. Oh, you couldn't hear anything. Oh, no, y'all couldn't hear that? No freaking way. So that whole time, Oh Lord. See there, that's just hold on, you guys. Okay. See, I'm learning. It all just started, but hold on, I'm gonna find it for you. Give me a second. I'll play it from right here on my phone. Hold on, where was I? That whole time I know y'all was like, well, why is she just sitting there? Okay, we live and we learn. Hold on. All right. This is, I like to give credit where credit is due. This is Spiritual Word. And this is what he's saying. The problem with the church is that anytime a person is in need, y'all go to running and dropping money. But let me tell you something. The poor will be with you always. And there is no blessing connected to blessing the poor other than getting back what you gave to them, but no multiplication. Multiplication is segregated for tithes and offering. When you give to the poor, the only thing you do is help them, but you don't help yourself. So when you give $1 to somebody on the street talking about I did my job, God like, thank you, but it ain't gonna help you. Read your Bible. Charity does not bring wealth. Only the tithe does that. Okay, so did y'all hear that? Charity does not bring wealth. Only the tithe does that. So I'm all ears. I have an opinion. But I'm trying to hear what y'all got to say about it. Does anybody have an opinion on that? There are some people who may believe he's right. Here for you, we heard nothing. Wait, y'all still couldn't hear? Oh, okay, you can't hear now. Okay. Somebody said play it again. Don't tell y'all still didn't hear, or is this old? Please tell me y'all can hear. Okay, well, long story short, Keon Henderson, who is married to Shawnee O'Neal, did a sermon that a lot of people are up in arms about. And somebody said, he got that from Nigerians 115. Okay, y'all could hear. Okay, thank you. Alice, blessed child of God, says, I think I read somewhere in the Bible that Jesus said, what you do to the least of them, you also do to me. Okay, thank y'all. So, yeah. So what I'm hearing based on what Pastor Keon is saying, and again, I don't know the Bible inside and outside, right? I'm a Christian. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I do also believe that there is something in the Bible that speaks to giving from your heart to, as you said right there, what you do to the least of them, you also do to me. And I think that when you are leading a congregation, what's really interesting is I heard a perspective from another YouTuber. I do not remember his name, but it was a great perspective. He said, and I don't agree with the entire perspective. Ain't that something how you agree with people on stuff and then they go and they do something real extra crazy and you be like, okay, now see, I was down with all that shit. Please don't forget to hit the like button, you guys. Please do not forget to hit the like button. But what this person was saying is that you have a responsibility when you are leading congregations like that, right? And what you speak and what you share with your congregation these days goes viral and reaches people far beyond just your congregation, right? And I think that you have to really be careful about how passionate you are about quoting things in the Bible that contradict other things in the Bible, especially when what you're quoting is something that makes you look like you are a prosperity pastor. Prosperity preaching is what I think is called. And, there's a lot of that out there. And I don't necessarily agree with it. And I'm just going to tell y'all flat out, I think people going to church, paying tithes, and not being able to pay their gas, and not being able to pay their lights, and that Thank you. Okay, Pam says here, that is not true. Proverbs 19:17. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. Amen. Thank you so much. Keon just wants them to give money to the church to benefit, which is, and you know what? That's the whole thing. The Bible does not speak about blessing. Technically, the Bible doesn't say that giving to the poor will bring you a blessing, but it does encourage people to give to the poor. And that is really, thank you, Pam, exactly for somebody said scamations 24/7. I love it. That's what I was concerned about, you guys. I'm like, doesn't the Bible teach you um, to be focused on so much more than becoming wealthy? Right? So you're giving, tithing for the purpose of becoming wealthy. Is that what this sermon was all about? If it was, I disagree with it. And it looks like a lot of people online disagree with it as well. And I hope that we are more careful. And the reason I brought that up, okay, there's a reason I brought that up. So when I talked about it going far beyond, you guys, we live in the social media era. Every damn thing we say, right? Somebody done cut and spliced together some shit the other day and sent it to me. It was crazy. With me, I'm 54 years old. I know where I come from, and I'm really good about myself and good with myself. So I don't really give a damn. But for people who are out here really like with their nose open and their eyes closed, I encourage, especially people with large platforms and big microphones. We seeing a lot of people out here just talking crazy and saying things that are ultimately going to come back to bite them in the ass. And I would encourage all of these people out here leading congregate, because right now people need to be able to lean on the Lord. Right now people need to be able to lean on their pastors for marital counseling and mental health counseling and stuff like that. This is a bad time for us to start learning and figuring out these pastors are out here giving scamification. And it sounds real scam like. And I'm not accusing anybody of it. I'm just saying, when you say give to me before you give to a poor person starving on the street, you open yourself up to a different kind of criticism. And then you also have people questioning, like, whatever. I don't know enough about religion to get into these. They say religion and politics is two things you don't talk about. But it's just a whole lot. Exactly. Keep the OODA in mind. Thank you very much, Firebomb. Exactly. Okay. Moving right along, let's get to our next subject. Be more responsible with your words when you got a whole lot of people following and watching what you're saying. Toure calls out Pierce Morgan for giving, speaking of people on platforms, Jaguar Writer platform. Okay, calls Pierce a hack. Toure, well-known culture commentator and former MSNBC host, didn't hold back when he took to TikTok to criticize Pierce Morgan's apology for hosting Jaguar Wright on his show. Wright, a singer notorious for her unfiltered and often wild claims about celebrities, including explosive allegations against prominent figures in the music industry, has become a polarizing figure online. However, Toure argues that giving her a mainstream platform was an irresponsible move by Morgan, and he describes him as a hack. What y'all think about that? Was it irresponsible for Mr. Pierce Morgan to have Jaguar Wright on his show? Um, okay. Oh, we're back on the offering. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. Miss HLS says, I'm not going to call him a false prophet because unfortunately people interpret scripture differently. It is important that people read the word and pray for wisdom, including pastors. That's a perspective for sure. A lot of these mega churches are false prophets. I mean, you know. Fine 9J says, I'm assuming the $2,000 offering pledge for a new building didn't work. Ooh, $2,000? Is that for real? We kind of talked about this on She Speaks Live once. Wow. I don't know if all this is true, allegedly. Everyone must stay alert. Pulpit condemnation, control, and manipulation seems to be a false head. Wow. Okay. All right, Lauren. Hey, Soror. What to do? What to do? You need to click that link and stop playing. Pierce Morgan has always been a part of the Messy Boots crew. Okay, my perspective on the Pierce Morgan thing is I kind of agree with Torre on that. I think that it is crazy. I said it on my live today. I think it's crazy that you don't vet the information in the source before you know, offer the platform. Because it seems like, and again, if it stopped at Jaguar, but it just seems like it's a lot of it just feels like there is a lot of going to salacious commentary and over the top commentary about this Diddy thing happening with not just like your local YouTubers, but when you start seeing like people with these national platforms and these huge platforms, then it just becomes, again, more dangerous. Like I said with the preachers, it's getting a little lot out of hand. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, do me a huge favor and hit the like button. So Torre is calling him out, and I don't know that he's a hack. I don't know him like that, but I do find that it is very interesting that he has not had um, someone from the Me Too Times Up movement on the show, or someone like the Pam, the law intellect. Can we get Pam the law intellect on Pierce Morgan? Anybody here for Pierce Morgan and Pam the law intellect? I am. Where my horn at? I can't find it right now. She says he learned from Jay-Z's lawyer that he better vet these people or you might end up in court. Absolutely. That's what it feel like. Because them people not playing. The people went on ahead and put that cease and desist letter right on in his pocket. And he took a step back, which he should have, because again, if you weren't there, you got to be very careful, especially when you have such a huge platform. Okay, let me get to my next story, and then I'm gonna give you guys my P to the Valley update. Cause guess what? We in the studio tomorrow, and it's early, so your girl ain't gonna be on here all long-winded for an extra long time. J Lo, Jennifer Lopez says the pain that she recently went through almost took her out for good, and admits that she's excited to be on her own. It's been a whirlwind year, and this is according to the Shade Room. I got to give credit where credit is due. It's been a whirlwind year for Jennifer Lopez. Her tour was canceled, her marriage ended, and she's dealing with internet scrutiny. For the first time since all of these events occurred, J-Lo is opening up about pain, the pain that she's endured during this time. J-Lo spoke with Nikki Glazer for Interview Magazine and discussed the pain that she went through. And I don't know why they putting them in quotes like that, like there's something else there, but okay. While Lopez said that she doesn't regret the pain, she admits that it almost took her out for good. That doesn't mean it didn't almost take me out for good. It almost did, she admitted. And while she doesn't have everything figured out, she's excited to be on her own. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of confused reading that. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Um, we're back to the church comment. Their church was destroyed in Hurricane Helene. Okay, well then that's another perspective. That's another perspective. If their church was destroyed and they kind of pulling resources, but if the church was destroyed, did the people's homes fare? Listen, y'all, look, okay, let's get into it. All right, we done got into the juicy gossip of it all. J Lo, I hope things get a little better for you. I think a lot of people are experiencing what Black women have lived with for centuries, all our entire whole lives. And it's just a lot. I think, yeah, I think the playing field is starting to level out a little bit. People are starting to feel what it feels like to be a Black woman in America, and all the difficulties and the challenges and the caregiving and the relationship issues and the kid issues and and then the thing is, we do all that shit for very little compensation and equity as it compares to somebody like a J-Lo. So I just, I just want to know what the hell going on. Like, I just feel like there's a whole lot of smoke and mirrors and distractions and people talking about shit that ain't really got nothing to do with what we really want to know about J-Lo and everybody else. The misogyny in this industry, the lack of opportunity in this industry, that's something that we've weathered for years and years and years and years. And I guess it becomes a lot frustrating, because Where are these stories with Black actresses and Black women and Black producers and, you know, who are working to make positive change in our communities, right? Why we had one, yeah, anyway, I'm going to go on a tangent. Let me give you guys an update on my P Valley situation, and then I am going to wrap this up. Again, if you are in here from the intellect, thank you so much. If you are in here from Instagram, thank you so much. If it's your first time, hit like and subscribe and share. Like means a whole lot. Um, December 5th, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see my IG, but I made a little announcement today on my IG. And I'm super grateful that I am finally getting the opportunity to go before a panel of 3 judges. This is something that I feel is going to be extremely important to my case. It is something that I feel is going to create an awareness about my case that deserves to happen. I think you guys have heard a lot of me ranting and just coping through this process over the last 4 years. And you're finally, I hope, going to have an opportunity to get a clear picture of why we are fighting for our intellectual property rights. This is so much bigger than I think a lot of people think. This really is a case that is in position to set precedent because I am prepared to go all the way. I think it is important for me to go all the way. I think the reason why the journey for me has been so difficult is because so few people make the decision to go all the way. Going all the way is the biggest, most challenging, most traumatic, and frustrating experience that I've ever had in my life. We have, and we've been documenting this, we have lost so much in this process. We have lost so much in this process. 4 years fighting billionaires. 4 years fighting billionaires. It has impacted my family in a lot of very bad ways, right? But God, I understand why. My husband understands why. My family understands why. We were chosen for this journey because it is next to impossible to endure. Imagine fighting not one, but multiple multi-billion-dollar companies as a single Black woman in this country with hands tied behind, hog tied with an apple in my mouth. I'm not getting any mainstream press. Piers Morgan ain't called my motherfucking ass to talk about the real issues, the real reasons why our community is suffering the way we are, right? Imagine if women had more opportunities in this trillion-dollar industry of entertainment. Imagine if women had more actual ownership and real, tangible, viable control. See, here's the thing. Someone putting you in a position to run their business that they own ultimately isn't what leads to generational, I mean, on some levels, it leads to generational wealth and wellness for your family and the people that are 6 degrees separated from you. But when you start talking about how the overall impact of women in positions of power, right? Because it's just, give me a break. Like, this is not about me trying to create a gender war here. This is just the reality. You fall down, you hurt yourself, most of the time you go run to your mama, right? Sometimes you run to your daddy, but a lot of times, a lot of people I know, large majority, vast majority of the people I know grew up in single parent homes. So that was your mama or your grandmama or your auntie, right? So when you start thinking about how we impact culture from that perspective, taking care of everyone, being caregivers, being that's why I'm so sick of everybody fucking complaining about shit as if you live your life as a black woman. Cause that is the most difficult job on this planet, especially in this country. Because we know we can fix the issues, a la Kamala Harris. Why she gotta, why we got, I'm not gonna turn this into that because I gotta watch the UDA, but for real, please press like if you're watching us on YouTube. Please, 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 please press like. But why does she have to fight so hard when she's overqualified, right? I ain't trying to turn y'all off by turning this into a political conversation, but it is at every level of this country. And back to my case, and back to the reason why we just gonna go all the way, right? Because I've said 569 trillion thousand times. Black people have been able to build the majority of our wealth, the billionaires in our community, the alleged ones, the real ones, the billionaires. Because these days we don't know who owns shit, who got shit, because everybody's so fake about shit. But anyway, the alleged billionaires in our community all come from the space. Many of them, most of them, the vast majority of them come from entertainment, sports, entrepreneurship, right? We see, I'm sorry, we see the success of these black hair care companies. We see the success of, I've said it a million times, we are the sauce. The problem in our community is that once Tyler Perry reached this otherworldly status, and Diddy reached this otherworldly status, and all these people, Oprah, who else? Byron Allen. We became so consumed with deifying these people and clapping for them, and praising for them, and they became so consumed, maybe, or maybe they just was, I don't know, but how many other owners, how many other multi-millionaires, how many other billionaires were seeded and created by the ones they let in the room? See, my issue with Stars and Lionsgate is, when I came in there and I had the conversation with you, I came and had a conversation with you about ownership, like real, viable, tangible ownership. I came in there with the same people who invested in Tyler Perry, who were prepared to do the same type of investment with me so that I could have ownership of this intellectual property that I created 20 years ago. So that the success that you're enjoying from the story that I wrote and the wealth that you're able to acquire and amass as a result of the story that I wrote, I would be getting a decent enough percentage of that to have been able to continue to develop and create opportunities for not just myself, as I stated in the beginning of this conversation, but for other dope ass creative people who really deserve it and are capable and can do it, so that we can multiply the wealth that Diddy got and Tyler got and Byron got and this one got and that one got, so we can multiply the billionaire status in our community, so we can continue to seed, so that women don't have to sell off large percentages of their equity in the things that they create. Young men, the black community, we don't have to sell off large percentages of equity in the things that we create so that we could pour and sow more into our communities. That is what this P Valley thing has been about for me. This ain't about me getting credit for writing the script. This was a fully flushed out brand Soul Kittens Cabaret venues, Soul Kittens Cabaret Vegas show, making the Soul Kittens reality show, working on something really big for Soul Kittens that I can't tell y'all about with a Broadway producer. Did I just say that? Oop, I shouldn't have said that shit. It's a lot of people in here. Hit the like button because I just gave y'all some tea I wasn't supposed to really give y'all. But yeah, God has a way. Anyway, worked for 30 years in YT America dominated tech environment. Not everyone can stand on their own in listen. So the journey to ownership, right? And the reason um I want you guys to pay really close attention to what I'm saying is because it fixes a lot of the problems in our community. It fixes a lot of the issues in our community. There's a monopoly in just about every area of entertainment and media. I be joking and shit about the OOTA, owners of the algorithm, but that shit is real. Oh, but it's real. And I'm not just fighting Lionsgate. I'm not crazy, right? We see what's going on with the shareholders, and it's people everywhere that have money. It's a publicly traded company. It's a big fight. It would be easy to take scraps and walk away and go off and forget about it and be like, oh, well, I'm good. Deuces, appreciate y'all. But if we don't take this opportunity, any opportunity that we have to help spread the knowledge and the wealth in our communities, we are going to, we are hamsters on a wheel. And like, who wants to live like, think about it, you guys. We can think pretty far back, and we see it was like the civil rights movement, and then it felt like people were understanding and supporting and becoming allies, and then we were able to build, some really amazing things. Y'all, if y'all don't know about the Detroit Black Bottom story, baby, y'all know about Tulsa. Pam, I'm gonna text you about that because I didn't open up my mouth too many times on this YouTube channel all geeked up. But it's knowledge, and knowledge should be free. Black Bottom is a story everybody needs to know. The Detroit Housewives League, the Housewives League of Detroit, was a group of Black women in Detroit. Fannie Peck organized these women, and they organized an economic protest and created what many of you would call a Tulsa. And it was right after, I want to say, Tulsa, and of course, freeway ran right through it. But there's some great work with Hiram and a whole bunch of other people in the city. It's Paradise Valley. In fact, I have some video footage when I was there with my sister that I'll share with you guys. But some really beautiful stories about how Black people were able to come together and rise and help empower one another, right? So we went through a space as people of color after the civil rights movement, the 80s and the 90s. And, and even though we're learning now today, 30 years later, that the 90s was on some bullshit too, Jesus Christ. Mm-mm-mm. Every time I open up my computer and see one of these things about Diddy, I go like, oh, Jesus. But we saw how we had Black pride. We remember our communities thriving. We remember our communities. Yes, Lauren, Black Bottom. We remember our communities thriving. We remember, our parents with their factories. It was just a different time, right? And it feels like when the industry and the media embraced gangster rap, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go right there. It feels like after Biggie and Pac, everything just started taking a nosedive towards the gutter real quick. And I started off earlier talking about this Star report I was watching, and last night he was talking about Black people being a permanent underclass. Right? I hate to admit that I am concerned that it is quite possible that the damage that has been done as a result of what started in the 90s and just became a really out of control freight train of trauma and destruction and negative images and narratives. I feel like we're overwhelmed with it. Like I was in the store today and I was like, okay, um, hi. And the girl behind the register was, hey, just like totally out of it, totally disconnected. And I'm realizing I'm seeing a whole lot more of that with our youth, like a whole lot less respect for elders, a whole lot less self-respect. Like everybody just seemed like they so out of it and disconnected and in their phones. And I guess that's because everybody is. But the problem is what they're consuming and what we're consuming in these phones and in the media and in the press is destroying our community and is putting us further, take bringing us farther away from what our ancestors fought so hard for us to have. From a creative space, as artists and musicians, we are the people that our community looks to for inspiration on the way to work. We are the people that our community looks to for aspiration. Wow, you see Diddy, he built his liquor company. Wow, he started his label. Everybody wanted a label. I'll never forget when Master P was selling them records up out of his trunk. Everybody wanted a Master P deal. Back to Tyler Perry. What put me in that room with those people from Lionsgate is because I saw how successful Tyler, who I worked with in Meet the Browns, who I was so impressed with, I wanted to go in and be like him when I grow up. And instead, what I got was, oh no, and this is how I feel, and this is what is in my case. What I got was no, 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 not so fast. We know you're in here pitching ownership, which is what I pitched. But we'll get back to you. And never heard back from those people until I realized that my story, a substantially similar one, beginning, middle, and end, the one that we are going to finally argue before a panel of 3 judges, was on TV. And they gave her $100 million to produce it. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Because after producing R&B Divas and creating Soul Kittens Cabaret and all these other ideas from the bottom up and all this dope shit, I was like, oh yes, the things that we could do to pour into our community, the artists that we could develop, the talent that we could develop, the stories that we could tell, the streaming platforms that we could set up, the way that we could grow this thing to finally have an opportunity to improve our community. But instead, we got P Valley, a show that is owned by people who look nothing like us. Katori, I don't know for sure, but I would venture to say she doesn't have ownership of it. I would think that that is a property that the people that I went in and pitched a co-ownership deal with own exclusively. I don't know. The whole point is I've never had an opportunity to ask those questions. I've never had an opportunity to go before a jury of my peers, present my facts, and have them give me their perspective, like T.I. and Tiny were able to do. Shout out to T.I. and Tiny. Baby, that's what happens when you get to a jury. Trier of fact. And what I've learned in this process is you don't just file a claim and go to a jury. And I'm not a lawyer. So once this whole thing is over, I'm going to give Pam the Law Intellect the exclusive. Boom, boom, boom. When I win, when we win, because it's us. And hopefully we'll be able to talk about the journey in a way that more people pay attention to because of our success. And that's the reason why I'm fighting so hard to get there. Because I don't want anybody to feel um, what my family has had to experience. Like going through this while I have a sister with brain cancer, going through this right after losing both of my parents, going through this when I still haven't had an opportunity to fully mourn the loss of Maxie, going through this trying to prevent foreclosure in my home, going through this telling my grandson, "No, see, we got to tighten up the bed." The impact of this litigation on my family, yeah, same person probably would be like, "Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell to the no, no, no." Listen, ain't nobody doing this um, for clout, but God has carried us through this process, as difficult as it has been. And we are finally, what's today, the 9th? Y'all want to hear some funny shit? December 8th, 2023 is when I read the headlines. Lionsgate permanently defeats Nicci Gilbert Daniels in IP, or writer in IP suit or some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing. And a year later, December 5th, we will be arguing our case before an appeals panel. And it's interesting because in addition to the summary judgment ruling, so I can share what that means, right? I'm not trying to be the law intellect, and I know it's intellects in the building, and y'all are probably going to be cringing just a smidge in my explanation of this, but I'm going to try to explain it for my people. But I need a couple more of y'all to hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Okay. So I'm going to get y'all quick and dirty with my long-winded ass. Y'all like this. Ain't nothing quick and dirty. How long I've been on here? Oh, still under an hour. Okay. So saw that Katori Hall, in July 2020, saw that my story was on TV, wanted to kind of really resolve this amicably. Oh, it's a Black woman. The whole Kelly Price thing went down. I didn't want no whole bunch of blah, 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 blah. So I engaged my lawyer in September 8th. And we just started trying to work this out quietly and privately, right? We try to do that for a good little time, right? Yes, we had everything. Somebody said, "We ain't no lawyer, please explain." Thank you, everybody that came in from the law intellect. Please hit the like button. So engaged my attorney, amazing sister. I just have a thing for Black women attorneys. I'm gonna listen. That's the other thing I'm gonna do, because yeah, we're gonna invest in more attorneys that understand our experiences. They ain't necessarily got to be Black women. You just got to understand the Black experience, the people of BIPOC. But anyway, wasn't taken very seriously, despite having a very clear case. Now, this wasn't just I saw it and, oh, this is the same. In addition to seeing it, I also met with the CEO of the company that produces the show. And I left him 2 copies of the pilot, the dramatic TV pilot Curtains, 2 copies of my stage play, Soulkins Cabaret, 2 copies of the deck, which outlined the making of the movie, because it was, again, this is a brand, Soul Kittens Cabaret. Can't y'all see Soul Kittens Cabaret Supper Club in Vegas? I can. Anyway, also 2 copies of the DVD starring Faith Evans and Fantasia, right? So I sat in the meeting with him. I'm sorry, before going to the meeting with him, I met with my attorney who actually worked with him. My attorney said, "Hey," I went to him and said, "I got the funding from the same people who funded Tyler Perry, same person, same individual. And he has shared with me that if I can get distribution for my dramatic series," right? Now, keep in mind, Tyler had just done that deal. And the person who invested in Tyler Perry, flipping his plays, and turning them into television shows. And the person who gave him the money to put his plays on the road and all that other stuff, and still to this day exclusively promotes his plays, was my angel investor, right? And he came to my house and he said, this is how you have to do it. You have to have ownership of your property, because the thing is, when I did R&B Divas, remember I was in a litigation for that too, because I did not know that I needed to have ownership of the intellectual property, the preeminent business asset that I created, because I was coming from music. And guess what? Based on what was going on in that world, as far as Puffy and all the rest of them people who were enabling, they weren't trying to make us smarter about nothing. That just wasn't what it was going to be. But anyway, I had no idea, because they don't teach you that, right? They don't teach us a lot of things that ultimately lead to us just whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. We'll talk about that tomorrow maybe. But went and talked to my attorney in LA. He said, hey, listen, I'm going to set up a meeting for you with the CEO of Lionsgate and the head of their legal department. That's why I brought two of everything to the meeting. I came to the meeting with my publicist, who is a working publicist in Los Angeles and has a bunch of clients that we all know, who happens to be my godmother. Went to the meeting. My partner was supposed to go. She couldn't make it. She had to fly out of town. So we sit down with this guy. I share with him, hey, listen, got this amazing story. It's a play. The play is a little on the bootleg side because we did not have a huge budget. We spent under $100,000, I believe, on it. My friends came together and did this for me. But this TV scripted idea, I have an investor lined up. He is ready to fund the series, much like you did with Tyler Perry. He made it clear to me. He was very clear on those deals, which is part of the reason why I was able to sit down with the CEO of the company, because my attorney, who was friends with the CEO, who referred me to him, said, hey, listen, this is the deal structure she's looking for. And Lionsgate is familiar with that deal structure, right? I go in, I pitch my heart out. I remember him sitting there and he said, what's the character? I explained to him who the protagonist in my story was. And I said, Tata Burlesque. He's like, oh, Tata Burlesque. I love that name. I explained Tata is French for auntie. Part of the reason why I did not call him auntie is because one of my friends, who is from the LGBTQIA community at the time, was like, listen, that drag queen and that such, that's tired. Don't do it. So we kind of leaned out of that. But he was, in fact, described in the original breakdown as a flamboyant drag queen. Right? So it's clear that this is now words like transgender and non-binary and gender fluid, which is part of the reason that my case was dismissed, because the judge literally said, your character is just gay, their character is non-binary. Well, okay, my story was also copyrighted in 2004 and hers in 2017, but I digress. Sat down, had a whole meeting with the CEO of the company. Guys, please press like, please press like. And then heard nothing from him. Now, ironically, I know this because we got a great team of people who do research. Katori was in LA the same time I was in LA. And Katori was also in LA talking about the fact that she had writer's block and she was taking pitch meetings and she was having these meetings around the same time I was in LA. Right. And I know this because I know this. Now, I haven't had an opportunity to present any of this because, well, they're not contesting access. They're not saying that, they're not denying access. They're denying similarity. So I know Katori was in LA pitching around the same time. And I don't know that she had a meeting with Lionsgate. I'd like to find out. We wanted Discovery to be able to find that out, but we weren't really given, we were given a very small discovery window. Initially, we weren't given any discovery at all. Discovery is a process of discovering things, asking questions, getting documents, getting emails, right? Initially, the judge was not going to give it to us. Then he gave us a short window. But anyway, met with him. I'm back in Lionsgate in 2013, 2014, y'all. Met with the CEO, left, didn't think anything of it. Never heard back from my attorney, who also happens to be his friend. Someone that he knows. By the way, the reason I brought two was because there were supposed to be two people in the meeting. Turns out the lawyer was not present. He did not come. So I just met with the CEO of Lionsgate. Heard nothing. Started talking to my investor who had me in LA during that time pitching those things. And this is a very, very important note for you guys. The same time that I was in LA pitching the CEO of Lionsgate to do a partnership deal with me, meaning we co-own it. And I bring money to the table and you bring distribution. That same time I did a deal with Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah and Shakim for From the Bottom Up. And we did that deal with BET where we went in, I brought the money to the table to produce the show. Flavor Unit leveraged their relationship with BET, and BET did a licensing deal with us, which was incredible because a show that not many people were able to see, a show that not many people um, watched because it was on a network, a smaller network called BET Her. That show, yeah, she did say she had writer's block. I'm not playing. Nobody's playing. The lady said I got writer's block. I got the whole screenshot. And then somebody responded, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. But I digress. Where was I at? Oh, talking about this. So let me speed this thing along. Long and short, we could not come to an amicable resolution in the first year of this. My case sat in Georgia for over a year. Then my case was moved from Georgia to California, where it is now. I was devastated. I live in Georgia. Katori lives in Georgia, and the show films in Georgia. But it was moved to LA. It was moved to Central District of California. I did my research when my case. Thank you. From the Bottom Up was a good show. Are we getting another season? And what about R&B Divas? Yes, we are getting another season. Pam and the Chronicle Speaks offer insightful analysis, but sadly, I can't say the same for many Black women on YouTube who opt to use their platform every day to belittle and disrespect Black women. Come on now. This heifer stole, right? There it is. Anyway, okay. So let me try to run this ball real quick. We could not resolve it. Went to LA. The minute my case got to LA, shortly after that, the judge in my case ordered the defendants to do a summary, to refile their case as a summary judgment. A summary judgment basically means your case just goes away. Usually in the summary judgment phase, what makes it go away is I don't own the copyright or just some blatant reason. There's no case, there's no facts, whatever. He then reversed it and gave us a little bit of time to do a discovery. We hired an expert. The expert said, without a doubt, no question about it, in his eyes, there was a infringement, or there is an arguable fact here. And that's all it needs to be, a question, right? Unfortunately, the judge didn't see it that way. So after many years of back and forth and many motions back and forth, we are finally at a place where we're able to go before a panel of 3. And I am praying to God that this panel of 3 see that we deserve an opportunity to go to a jury. And when we go to that jury, whatever happens at that point is God's will. But I feel like it's very important for us to see this through, because for the next person coming up behind me, for anybody who may be sitting at home right now depressed because something they poured their whole heart and their whole soul into, y'all have no idea what I put into Soul Kittens Cabaret. This story, how proud I was of it, how much I worked. The history is there from 2004 all the way up to 2017. 2018. We were developing and showcasing and preparing and pitching and getting ready for. And there's no feeling like having somebody take something from you and feeling like you can't help yourself because the bully is just so much more powerful. The bully has so much more money. Seeing your whole life fall apart around you and knowing it would just be easier to just say, F it. Listen, the fact is, I still have to pay these people who I believe with my whole heart took my property. I have to pay them over $600,000. I still have $1 million in legal fees. This chance that I've taken on standing up, not just for myself, but all creatives, has cost us so much. And I don't regret one moment of it. It's hurt. It hurts. It's painful. I want it to stop. I want this shit to be over. But I don't regret any part of this journey because I feel like that's what God has us here to do. And it may seem petty in some instances with some folks, and it may seem redundant because it is, because I've been living with this shit for 4 years. It's hard to really think or talk about other things, but we manage because we still got to keep going. But I think people need to see this, whatever it ends up being, however it turns out, in my favor, in their favor. The judicial system, as we know it, will be different based on my case. Either way, you will either learn that you do not stand a chance. And listen, I'm going to tell you, this doesn't go the way I hope and expect that this goes. And I'm fighting from a real spiritual place right now because that's all we got. This doesn't go in that way, then I would question whether or not I would ever encourage anybody to go up against $1 billion company. So they're going to get exactly what they want if this doesn't go that way. Because I don't know that I would be like, yeah, girl, lose your house, your car, be in debt for the rest of your life. Because might just get a chance to go before a jury. If I don't get a chance to go before a jury, I don't know that the judicial system works for us. I just don't. I don't believe. That's just the real shit. If I go before a jury and the jury's like, we don't see it, that's a whole nother thing. But to not be given the Seventh Amendment right to a fair trial with the facts that we have, and the fact that the experts and all of y'all and everybody who goes to WRFTV.com and looks at that 57 comparisons or that Canva chart that lays it all out, you can't tell me that we don't deserve a trial on the merits of our case. But what I can learn is whether or not I deserve a trial as a Black woman who wants to use whatever resources I have to help improve the lives of people in my community and create more opportunity to build generational wealth and wellness in my community. I am not the girl who gets the bag and runs. I'm the girl who gets the bag and reinvests in my community. And that's why I go so hard out here on these streets. And that is why I thank you very much, Grace, Mercy, and Saved. Because, yeah, I got my 5 smooth stones. And I do understand that I've been fighting Goliath. And I do understand how powerful he is. But God and karma. Please hit the like button, you guys. Please hit the like button so we can move up in this algorithm. There needs to be a better legal protocol for creatives because the courts don't normally side with creatives and protects the corporation. Might have to get legislator involved. Exactly. Thank you, Pam. And that is something that we have already started the process of creating and building. And God willing, on December 5th, you guys will all be watching it. I mean, that's a win. That's a win. You guys will all watch them people say they're not the same because she only mentioned the casino in her story 2 times and we mentioned it 5. I'm paraphrasing. They're not the same because one character is more homophobic because of his drive for money. The other one has something deeper and darker, which is the reason that he's homophobic. But these characters use the same language and have the same interaction and are the antagonists. And it's just crazy. I'll be rambling if I go on and on and on. But you guys, listen. All I have is my platform and my voice and my faith. Because, yeah, my lawyers would probably prefer that I not speak about this. But again, when I went through and I looked at all those cases of copyright infringement, when I looked at the fact that A few of the defendants in my case have already been before the same judge in a similar case, and those ladies lost, and they had to pay legal fees too. I knew that going in. I knew going in that this LA and this is corporate America and this ain't going to be easy. This is going to be very difficult. But it just would have been so much harder for me to live my life watching something that I put 20 years of blood, sweat, and tears into. Something that was a love letter to my home, my city of Detroit. Something that I can't go nowhere and be like, hey guys, I got a story I want to tell you I can't sell my story to anybody. Imagine me going in trying to pitch my story to advertisers and sponsors saying, okay, so it's about a club where women take off their clothes. The 5 women, and the club is owned by an LGBTQIA club owner, and he's the den mother for the women. And guess what? This is the best part. There's a homophobic antagonist that wants to take over the club to build a casino on the land because it's valuable. They'll kick me out of their office. They would, or politely ask me to leave because I can't sell my story to anyone anymore. Now I might be able to do it live on stage. I might be able to do a film adaptation. Well, we are going to do it, and the way we're going to flip it and change it and try to make it less like P Valley. Like I have to intentionally work now to make my story less like P Valley going forward, so that people don't think I am copying P Valley. How am I going to tell a story about a flamboyant transgender club owner of a strip club that's up for sale because of a Vegas casino and a homophobic antagonist? Well, they killed Isaiah Washington off. Wonder why they did that. Is this thing on? But yeah, I can't tell that story again. It's been told. So, the law intellect. Can we campaign more Black female content creators to hit hard over the next few months? You know what? Listen, all the support that I can get, I'm taking. You guys, please hit like. That's why I keep telling y'all to hit the like button, because thank God for Pam and anybody who shares our content, and all of you who are coming over from the intellects. Thank y'all, because listen, this is the other thing. The other thing that they do in this business is they make the sisters and brothers who are not going for the okie doke, they make us out to be really bad people, terrible people, right? We get tricked into showing up on camera to be edited to be crazy. And yes, they edit people to make them look crazy as hell. And yeah, I know y'all don't want to believe it. I know y'all like, no, they just showing you what you gave them. No, it's much bigger than that. There's a whole nefarious, crazy system in place to make sure that these reality TV shows and all these other, there's a whole system in place to make sure that they get that good TV. And I'm gonna tell y'all, the way liquor and alcohol is going to be coming up over the next few months, or next year, because this trial is going to take forever. What y'all finna find out about what really goes on in the DMs is going to blow your mind, period. The more noise that we can garner, the better the pressure. Oh, I did an interview with Tiffany Cross. I did it. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for coming over. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Oh, let me tell y'all, you know what? I sure do need to put that Cash App up. What's my Cash App? What's my Fight? F-I. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it like this. I don't know. For some reason, it's not coming up, guys. And yeah, I should have been doing that a long time ago. My Cash App is Fight, the number 4, and Worth. Add to broadcast. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Boom, it popped up. That popped up. Boom, come on, Cash App. Fight number 4 Worth is our Cash App. Guys, everything, and just awareness. Because listen, my case is further along than a whole lot of these other cases out here that people are talking about every single solitary day. And the reason that people are not talking about them is because they're not salacious and it's not going to be all these clicks and shit. But if we want to improve our community, we have got to start investing in women. I just saw Melinda Gates is launching another grant program where she's giving away $250 million. And trust me, my team is already on it. Ain't we, Lauren? Oh, thank you, Lauren. She said, "You are one of the most genuine people. You are so nice and hilarious." Oh, I hope you were talking about me, El Boogie. I give you $10 when I leave here. But yeah, I just really want to pour into my community, and I feel so stunted. And I see people kicking off their streaming platforms, and my streaming platform has been in the process of being built since Melinda. Speaking of Melinda Gates, the very first grant proposal, it was called Equality Can't Wait. It was Melinda Gates and or Melinda French. I'm sorry, Melinda French is her name. No disrespect, but Bill Gates' ex-wife, and Mackenzie, who used to be married to Jeff Bezos. They did this Equality Can't Wait campaign where they were giving organizations $10 million. And like our grant proposal was bomb. Like they gave us feedback on it and everything. And it was all like really good feedback and stuff. And we thought we were going to get the grant. Unfortunately, we did not. But the whole point was worth. Worth was, and I'm gonna post the elevator pitch that we have for it. They have you do like a 90-second elevator pitch. I'll post it on YouTube in my stories and in my on my IG. But it was worth. It was Women in Reality Film TV. It was talking about counterbalancing the narratives and how important that was in the streaming platform and how much work we would be able to. The grant is amazing. We just go resubmit the same grant. Hello, Melinda French. Hello, Melinda French. Um, media, media, the most powerful tool in the universe. Not enough of it is owned by people who care, women who care, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color who care. And we need to change that. Of course, I'm talking about you. I'm fighting this with you. Pray for justice. Thank you guys. I'm so glad Pam sent me here as well. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm getting my YouTube chops up. Is that my husband? I'm getting my YouTube chops up. And I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for this platform because I feel like my tribe is here. Like, I mean, I could put on hair and makeup and show y'all my clothes and do slow motion walks and all the brownstone stuff, but I feel like the platform is here. You guys, please make sure that you hit like and subscribe. We have got so much great. Yes, and let me go back to one of the points that Pam made about R&B Divas. So, for those of you who don't know, I am the creator and executive producer of R&B Divas. R&B Divas was the biggest lesson in my life. They even brought it up in my deposition. Weren't you in court before over another? Yep, I sure was, because again, a culturally incompetent white male lens tried to take something that I created, and I didn't know how to fight like I do today. But I'm glad R&B Divas happened, because I think it was R&B Divas that gave me some of the tools that I needed to really be able to face these multi-billion dollar companies that I'm facing today. But I say this because I wasn't aware that trademarks and ownerships were so important. Shout out to Michelle Miller Esquire, who is a really amazing trademark and copyright attorney. I now own the trademark for R&B Divas. Now, of course, everybody named Mama got something to say about it. And, who knows? Maybe another horizon. But for now, today, that is the case. And I understand now more than I've ever understood in my life. Ownership is the only thing we can pass down to our children. We have to think about it the same way we think about real estate and real property. The intellectual, preeminent business assets that we create. Preeminent business assets, billions and billions of dollars. Content. We have to fight for that, you guys. People are starting to see that people aren't coming to concerts as much. I believe it was Ari Lennox who just oh, Pam, thank you so much for the super chat. Keep fighting. Yep, every dollar goes towards our fight. Thank you so much, Pam. But this is it's a really big deal, you guys. I'm not just doing this because I want attention, because honestly, I want to just get my bread, reinvest in people, and retire at 55 and just invest in people. Like my angel investor, who was the person that was giving me the money to produce curtains the dramatic spinoff of Soul Kitten's Cabaret like he does. He lays in the cut, not lays in the cut, but he pours and sows seeds into creatives the same way he did with Tyler Perry. He did the same thing with Tyler Perry. And I'm really hoping that someday I can be that blessing for other young creatives. Did you stop the camera? Honey, what are you doing? Jesus. It is gone. You guys hold tight. My husband is messing around with the camera. Dude, okay, we're back. Okay. Like, did you stop the camera? Um, so anyway, I hope that I can lay in the cut and reinvest in our community because at the end of the day, that is what we need more than anything at this point. We need um more creatives who really care about the Black community and up and coming creatives to reinvest so that we can take our old asses down to the pasture and retire and leave our community, creative community, a little better than it is right now. Because looking at what's happening with Diddy, we don't know how deep that rabbit hole goes. We don't know how many people um, are involved. We don't know what levels. This guy said he talking about banks and corporations and all of that. I think it's about to get real scary and real. I've heard and seen all kinds of things that I will not repeat because I don't want nobody coming after me for libel. But having been in this industry, I've seen some shit, and I'm believing a lot of some of the things that I'm saying, that I'm seeing. But what I hope that we get to, you guys, which is so important, is I hope we get to being more responsible with what we're saying publicly on these platforms, because eventually what's going to happen is so much bullshit is about to be out here that people are gonna disconnect because they're like, oh, this is just some clown shit. This ain't never gonna be like people were kind of feeling like, well, then when they gonna arrest him? Is that ever gonna happen? I think we're gonna be so shocked at the shit that we hear and see, and it's just gonna be an influx of more ambulance chasers in terms of attorneys and more people trying to get a bag in terms of potential victims. And that is really terrible if that does happen, because at the end of the day, um, it hurts the actual real victims and it doesn't change anything. Be proactive in your approach to this Diddy stuff. It is going to change the culture. Get ready to get y'all socks completely knocked off. It's about to get crazy. If any of the things that have been circulating in a lot of rooms in entertainment are true, and shit, not just entertainment, this is real deal Holyfield. If any of it is true, I want you guys to clutch your pearls and get ready, in my TD Jakes voice. Cause yeah, it's madness. And that's the reason why we need to go on ahead and get this P Valley trial over and done with. I need to have equitable ownership of the intellectual property that I invested 20 years of my life into, so that I can start to reinvest into my community. We got some really, we talking about repurposing school buildings in the hood. We talking about, there's so many great, awesome stories and creatives out there who deserve an opportunity to be with a company that's not just going to exploit them sexually, financially, mentally, emotionally. If you want to improve the Black community, give us the opportunity to have partnerships. Partnerships help benefit the corporations and benefit the creative. We need to cut out all these middleman ass motherfuckers, because you see what's going on with allegedly in this Diddy stuff. It's a whole lot of people who was allegedly just standing around being middlemen and facilitators and enablers and shit. And them the ones that they need to really be going at. And I hope that they don't settle all these alleged cases of PDO, you know what. I hope that the right authorities, even if they do settle it in a civil case, bring criminal cases against anybody who watched that happen. Because, and I didn't get into this tonight, I will probably get into this tomorrow. It's a very important Toughest battles are given to the strongest shoulders. The force is with you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, there are two young men recently in the news this week. I'm gonna get into it a little bit tomorrow. I'm at an hour and 26 minutes. Both of them, one of them is from Detroit. Allegedly, this young man, 16 years old, lured a PDO to the house, or something, excuse me, an alleged person who has had a history of that and had a case, lured him to his home and unalived him. The 16-year-old black kid did this to this older man. I think the man was Caucasian. And then the TikToker with 4 million followers just a few days before. Another situation where he allegedly had his therapist meet him at his home. And the therapist had allegedly a previous case of PDO, and he unalived him. Something is going on in our community, guys. Obviously, there are as many men or young male victims as there are female. And I was talking to my husband, and he had a really good point. It begs the question, have we ignored sexual liberties to a point where they are being overly suggested and too influential on our youth? I have seen this agenda for a very long time. I have been complaining about it. When y'all hear me talk about narratives and being auntie, and that's too much tea and ass and all that other stuff. And now we have a complete debacle in entertainment and media, and we about to find out that your favorite got a problem. How deep does that rabbit hole go? I do not know. I'm not going to be one of these people out here in these streets talking about what I saw when I wasn't there. But get ready, y'all. Get ready, because it's about to get ugly. It's already ugly. It's about to get horrific. Hi, Miss Nicci. I don't think I'll be surprised by anything that comes out. I just wish we, as Americanized African indigenous people, didn't have the thirst for watching the destruction of others. Yeah. Well, I don't think we have the thirst of watching the destruction of others, guys. I think that we love to see movies like Wakanda. We love to see, remember Soul Food? Remember that feeling that, remember, let's go back. Remember all those movies that made us feel good after watching them? Remember all those depictions of like girlfriends and so many other great projects that really showed the best man, and even Girls Trip, right? Where are those projects? Where are those films? Where are those stories? Why does Tyler Perry have to control every narrative concerning Black women out here? And that's not no slight or no diss to Tyler, but there are so many dope ass Black female creatives out here that can tell stories and share images that can lift us and push the culture forward in a positive way. Why don't those women have the opportunity to do that? Because I believe, quiet as kept, you ain't heard it from me in my Kim Wayans voice. I believe that they were very intentional about the people they give power to in entertainment and media. I believe they know who is going to do their bidding. I believe they know who is going to create content that falls in line with their agenda. And I believe that those are the people who are elevated and given the budgets and given the power and the control. And those of us who want to see the community thrive and go forward in a positive way and teach about wealth building and entertain, uplift, empower, inspire are called difficult and blackballed and crazy. Speaking of this, could we ever get a follow-up to social conflict, like a story about what happened with the principal and the kid? First of all, Forever Deshaun, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart about bringing up social conflict. That is truly a labor of love, and a project I'm super duper proud of. In fact, I'm gonna show y'all a clip before we get out of here. It's a very short clip because Deshaun brought it up. He got the whole scene. Maybe Dedrick get out of prison. Yes. Okay, we already have. So real quick, I'm gonna show you guys this clip because I'm super duper proud of it. And then we're gonna get back to this because at the end of the day, so Social Conflict was a film, we talked about it last night or night before last. Social Conflict was a labor of love that I did with, my lifelong friend and brother, incredible actor, director, co-writer, just amazing human being. We told the story of our high school music teacher who was molesting in real life kids in the choir. It's crazy. Life imitating art. And I'm going to show you guys a clip of when my character, the character Dedrick, is the character he played. I'm sorry, my nephew played Dedrick, who played the young man who actually shot the teacher. And my son is in jail. My nephew in real life played my son in the short film. This is a short film. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to read and being distracted. We created this on a shoestring budget. We shot it at the school where all of the incidents occurred. I'm gonna show you guys a scene. This is the woman in this scene with me is one of my best, longest friends in the world. She and I have known each other since the kindergarten in real life. She's an amazing actress. Before we get into that, Lauren says, can't have too much positivity. It goes against how pulling the strings, how they want Black women to be seen in this world. 100%. 100 per frickin' cent. There is an agenda, there is a narrative, and they want this thing to roll the way they want it to roll, because as long as you dropping it low and spreading it wide and having babies everywhere and laid up with no good ass, then you gonna supply their prisons. Did I say that? Oops. Okay, let me share this clip with you guys. Again, this is Wendy. And Wendy and I have been friends since we were 4 or 5 years old. And she did this scene with me. Hold on. Let me see if I can just drop.
To tell you, you ain't heard it from me, okay?
You're not even here.
All right. Charmaine, do you know why your son killed Tillison?
No.
Charmaine, everybody knows that Mr. Tillison wasn't right with those boys. He was touching those boys, Charmaine.
But what does it have to do with Dedrick? I mean, was he trying to protect somebody? What? Baby, one take. You guys, please hit the like button. I love that project. I'm so proud of that project. That project is a backdoor pilot for a series. So to answer your question, Deshaun, yes, we've been writing and creating really great content that we feel kind of reminds me of Lean on Me. I'm about to do something else real quick, you guys. I'm about to show y'all another scene.
What I'm about to tell you, you ain't heard it from me, okay?
No gun control, no suits. No gun control, no.
They don't want to see their children learn, then you're just as wrong as the politicians. They're trying to turn these schools into prisons. Can't you see that? Now, all things considered, you of all people should understand. No offense.
No offense taken, but this has nothing to do with me or my son. Not trying to turn these schools into prisons. It's just trying to make it a safe learning environment for students and for teachers. Besides, you carry a gun.
Yes, I carry a gun. But there's a difference. I'm licensed to carry a weapon.
Well, teachers can be trained and licensed too.
Listen, you obviously don't get it. Listen, this is the beginning of something much bigger than you can imagine.
Well, if it isn't the ever loyal Miss Davis. Baron, get back to your post. I'll take Miss Davis to her classroom.
Thanks for walking me out there.
Anytime.
Good day.
Her mother. I tell you, good assistance is hard to come by these days.
Okay. You know, I guess I should say thank you for allowing me to come back and teach.
Oh, and I really appreciate you coming back here, in spite of all that's transpired. I'm sure it's extremely challenging.
You know me, might get knocked down 10 times, but I get up 11.
Yeah, well, that was a long down for 10.
You got jokes, huh?
No, my good. But really, can you handle this? I mean, no shade, but the same door you enter make the perfect exit.
I can handle it.
No judgment, can you?
Yeah, I got this.
Good. Now, as I told you, there's only one class that's still in commission, about 4 students. I sent you their records. Did you get a chance to look at them?
Yep, sure did.
Nice. So these students, in spite of all that their parents and the protesters are saying, still want to learn. And I really want to support them in the best way I can. That's why I want them to have well, you know, you.
Well, all I want to do is make a difference in the kids' lives.
Okay. Well, go make that difference.
Thanks.
You're not gonna give up, are you?
No way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I said good morning. Hey, girl. I am Miss Davis, your new social studies instructor.
We know who you is.
We know who you are.
Girl,
All right, I'm not gonna put y'all through the whole thing. I got into watching it myself. You can watch Social Conflict, which is a backdoor pilot. Those kids in that classroom, all from the city of Detroit, are some of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. It is a labor of love. We had a shoestring budget. It is a short film that is a backdoor pilot. That was Dwayne, the person who played the principal. You guys, it's 26 minutes. You can watch it on WIRFTV.com. This is something we did in 2018. I want to say, was it 2018, 2017? And I'm just proud of it. And I'm proud of it because we've been using art to figure out how to share these messages. Again, those students in that classroom, all from Detroit, it was at my former high school. It is something that I wrote because I had saw something that said something about potentially teachers carrying guns in school. And I imagined a world where what would happen if that does happen. We hit a variety of subjects in this. I believe it was The Root. We got rave reviews. We were in film festivals. It did really, really well. And I want to continue to give our audiences, our people, perspectives like this. If there's room for the nonsense, y'all, and there's room for the BS, there's room for compelling stories that are well written, that, share, really compelling, lessons. And I think we got to just get back to that. So anywho, I am not going to be long-winded in here. Let's see, you guys got any more comments? Thank you again, Pam the Law Intellect, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Let's see, any other comments? Ooh, this looks good. Thank you. It is good. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. I don't know, for some reason I can't add you guys' comments anymore. Shout out to Detroit. Yes, looks interesting. Thank you. Forever Deshaun says, I want to audition for the series. That's the plan, baby. WorthTV.com. Register. Worth Media. I'm sorry. I'm going to confuse y'all. If you are interested in auditioning or becoming a Worth ambassador, women in reality, film, and TV, go to worthmedia.com, which is our media company. And make sure that you click on Worth Ambassador. There's a whole form that you can fill out. If you're interested in, you know, uh, supporting our work, you can hit that. I was trying to put it up there, but it ain't going up there. But you can hit that Cash App, which is Fight $ for Worth, and something that will cost you nothing is to hit the like button just so that YouTube knows that you're enjoying the content. So I think that's it, you guys. I talked about J Lo. I talked about the pastor, and hopefully let me clear this up so there's no confusion. I do not know Pastor Keon. I don't I've never been to his church, and I don't have anything negative, or I don't have anything to say outside of be careful about telling people not to give to people in need. Miss Nikki, you are just too bad. I mean good for this world. I remember you on Martin. We need you to be on TV again. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a movie. It's called He Looked Like a Postcard. He looked like the postcard. Jessica Care Moore, an amazing poet who is also from Detroit. I play her best friend Truck. We have been in various film festivals over the summer. She is working on getting this film into theaters or streaming platforms. So you guys, please follow He Looked Like the Postcard Film on Instagram. Please follow me at Nicci Gilbert on Instagram. Please make sure that you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you, Twitter. I see you. Twitter is in the building, or X, call it whatever. I appreciate y'all too. That is it. I guess I'll be back tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, we're gonna do some throwback Thursday. I'm gonna try to switch things up a little bit, you guys. And I'm gonna introduce you to some more new content, and I might have a special guest for y'all. All right. I've been trying to keep the guests in studio because I really enjoy this one-on-one. Make sure, if you haven't already, go down the little rabbit hole of Worth TV. We've got an interview with Latavia from R&B Divas. I just re-aired a conversation that I had with Angie Stone, which is a great conversation. Very real, very transparent. I have a conversation I had with Monifa a couple months back, but it's still a great watch. And again, we would love for you to go to wirftv.com. That is our streaming platform. It is web-based. We're trying to get to the app, but I need more of you guys to sign up for the web-based streaming app. The reason that that's important is just in case, you know, YouTube decides they don't want to demonetize my ass again, or it's hard to have these real conversations. A lot of YouTubers are discovering that talking about this Diddy thing, I think if you're not really strategic in how you use your words, I think, you can get maybe not all the way demonetized, but the ad suitability becomes a question. So I'm learning, you guys. So thank y'all for rolling with me in this process. Fine 9J says, sigh. Wow, your journey has been very tough. However, I'm happy you have this opportunity to win. Remember, opportunity to win. I will lift you in prayer. You're right. It is an opportunity to win. And you know what? Let me say this about the journey. I ask my husband this all the time. Babe, are we really, what if we just said bump it? My husband, my family, all of y'all, the constant encouragement to keep going and to keep pushing through, that is a huge blessing. It's nothing to be sorry about. It's nothing to feel like, why me? My energy is, why not me? Because my ass is crazy enough to actually fight for what's right. I can't be bought out by people with low integrity. I don't vibrate on low vibrational frequencies. And I'm not fearing anything, because whatever happens to me, my family, in my life, that is God's will. And there is something really powerful that comes out of that either way. I could sit here all day and be like upset about so many things. Y'all, that's my dog snoring. He's basically like, "Bitch, get off the live. I'm tired and you talking. So y'all gonna have to deal with this mastiff." But change does not come easy. And there have to be people who are willing to lay on the sword for it. And I don't enjoy the stress of, head on swivel, extra security, extra this, extra that, extra having to research and, all the things that go along with it. But I know that whatever comes of this, a lot of people are going to learn a lot of big, valuable lessons. And I'm going to say this about it. Those people that I'm fighting right now, they know. They got a lot of heavier stuff to worry about than me. They know it, I know it, and in a little bit of research, y'all will know it too. Things are not peachy over there because karma's a bitch. And God don't play about me. And everything that you have done to not just me, but everything that any major corporation worth billions of dollars has done to any creative out here just trying to make a way and share their gifts and enlighten the world in a positive way and provide for their families and live long and prosper. Anybody who has prevented that from happening, it will come to your house in the sins of the Father. We see in it real time, tenfold in Jesus' name, if it's God's will, of course. Only if it's God's will. You're going to get it back. And it takes someone crazy enough to really believe it in real life. Thank you for encouraging me. Kat says, thank you for encouraging us to trademark and protect our gifts. Yes, much love and good night. We appreciate the space you've created for us. I'm supporting you. You need to get in touch with Queen Miss Ross. I would love to see that. I would love to see that too. That's that Detroit grind. Amen, you guys. So, wow, it's a lot of y'all watching. I appreciate it. I'm super excited. Twitter, y'all on fire over there. On fire, yeah. That's it. I don't have much to say. I'm rambling at this point. I appreciate you guys. Please pray. Remember, December 5th, 2024, which is almost 1 year exactly from that ruling that denied me the right to a trial. God has positioned me to be at a panel of 3 judges, and it will be live on YouTube. And we're having a watch party on December 5th. I'm sending out party invitations. I want y'all to turn this up out because we're going to watch justice be served on a silver platter. Lauren, that Detroit grind is unmatched. Lauren and Pam, excuse me, connect, please, because we got some connecting to do. Please make sure you guys follow. All y'all are here from the Law Intellect, so there it is. But for those of you who are on Twitter, watching me from Twitter, because I see it's about almost 175, 50 something people on that Twitter right now. And I'm sure a lot of them are friends of the defendants waiting for me to say something that they could use in a court of law for libel. But, you know, we an appeal. So, hey. And if you get a chance, go look at, y'all should look at it too. Y'all people from that other firm watching my live right now on Twitter, y'all should go look at that Ninth Circuit conversation that they just had about one part that really stuck out for me is there were some judges, amazing judges. I learned so much. What I love is that they want this to be a transparent process. One of the justices was saying, the woman justice, please forgive me, I don't remember her name, but it made me feel some form of reassurance because she said, the reason that we are publicizing these things is because the public should be able to see this. The public should see this process happening. Another thing she said that gave me some hope is a question was asked at the very end about frivolous lawsuits, right? Because one of the reasons why the judge has ordered me to pay $600,000+ to the defendants is because he feels that my case is frivolous. And he's a judge, so he has every right to feel that way. He said he feels like my case is frivolous and he hopes that, you know, by making this decision, it will prevent or deter I'm paraphrasing, but basically to deter this from happening before. And I saw an order similar to that with the women in the other case, that the other defendants, whatever. But what gave me some hope is listening to, Dobbs. Listening to the justice, she did say that they don't hear cases that are frivolous. They don't hear cases that are frivolous. You are not assigned to oral hearing to hear a frivolous case. And then the other justice reaffirmed that they don't hear frivolous cases. So that alone gave me hope that they will be watching and listening with an open mind. And my lawyers are ready, willing, and able. So you guys pray for us. December 5th is our oral hearing. Now, we might not find out the results until the next year sometime, but somebody on one of these lives told me that February and March was going to be a good year. So please continue to pray for my sister Debbie. She is the wind beneath my wings. She is the person who makes me feel like all of this is possible. Everything I'm doing with this fight is in honor of her, my mom, my dad, and my sister Maxie. My sister Debbie is fighting glioblastoma, which is a rare form of brain cancer. John McCain had it. Jovita Moore had it. Joe Biden's son, actually had it as well. It's very aggressive and very serious, and she is a trooper, and she is an incredible human being, and she has shown me so much about life and being fearless in the face of the biggest fight of your life. So this case ain't shit compared to what my baby sister is enduring. I just want to be able to be done with this so that I can really enjoy the time I have with my family. Pam says, this is very true. They don't entertain every appeal. Yes, she said it, and Justice said it. So, okay. All right, I'm going to quit talking before I say something I ain't supposed to say. I love and appreciate y'all. Thank you guys. Please fight for $, Cash App is $, fight, number 4, worth. Everything you contribute goes towards us amplifying messages that improve the lives of women and girls in our community. And please hit the like button on YouTube. And all of y'all that's on Twitter, I see a whole lot of y'all on X. Go on over to YouTube, even the ops. Go on over to YouTube and hit that dang on like button and subscribe. Okay, nice with Nicci. Love you guys. Have a good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time. Tell somebody, tell a friend, tell a friend. Nice with Nicci back again. Good night.